Hey folks, it's your main man Ian. I'm here with Clea, and I want to go over how to reinforce commands around distractions with your dogs, okay? In this case, we're going to be using the prong collar to reinforce the commands, along with the marker word, okay? So all we're going to be doing is putting the dog into a command, down, good, creating a distraction, in this case throwing kibble into that bowl, and then if the dog gets out of the command, we say and we guide the dog back into the position, and we say the name of the command we want them to go into. Break. Clea, heel. Apply pressure. Heel. Good. Good. So right there, she just kind of veered towards the smell on the ground. I said, I applied a little bit of leash pressure, and then I repeated the command I wanted her to perform. Apply leash pressure, heel. Apply leash pressure, heel. Good. Now in this case, just mixing this up and having the food on this side and my reward hand on this side is causing her to want to go in front, and I'm using that as a distraction to say, no, you stay right here. Even if the food's on this side, you're going to stay right there and you're not going to be going in front of me. Good. In general, to start, you want to reward them with the reward hand on the right side, but this is a little more challenging for her. Heel. Good. Apply pressure. Heel. Apply pressure. Heel. Sit. Good. Feed. Apply pressure upward. Sit. Good. So at this point, we're helping the dog understand how to go back into the position around distractions. Good. And that it's no big deal. We have things to give them that will be good. All they need to do is go back into the position they were in. Good. This is really important for us to master how much pressure is necessary to put our dog back into a command. And it's also important for our dog to understand, how does that feel when we are simply putting them back into the position they were in before? Great. You can see I also dropped the leash there. The reason I dropped the leash was to add another level of challenge to the command that would tempt her to maybe get out of that command and give us an opportunity to guide her safely and calmly back into the position she was in. Clea, down. Now in this case, good. There was a truck driving by. And once again, I dropped that leash there. So it would give me a chance to almost test her and see, do you know what the command means even when I'm not holding the leash? Even when there's a car driving by? And she said, yes, I know what that means. So I said, down. I applied a little bit of pressure. Good. Okay. Now we make the distractions a little bit harder for her. Good girl. We just create a distraction, and then we say good, and we reward the dog for staying in that position. Good girl. Good. So you can see Clea's doing great with her commands around distractions. Good girl. Notice right now I'm primarily using the word good to reinforce to the dog, I really like you staying in these commands and in these positions. even by putting food there or going to pick up the leash. Apply pressure, down. Okay, I did not release her. Just because I picked up the leash or put food in the bowl does not mean that the command is done. Let's go. Heel. Heel. Good. So even just doing little turns, away from this bowl of food is giving me a time to practice with her. Hey, how do you stay in the heel command even when there's a bowl of food on the ground? Sit. Good. Down. Apply pressure. Good. It's really important to note, I am, in this case, applying an extremely small amount of pressure, but the level of pressure may change depending on how distracted your dog is. The most important thing is that we pay attention to how much pressure we're using and we follow through and ensure that we have a successful repetition every time we give a command and we direct the dog with the prong collar. That may require that we use less pressure, that may require that we use more pressure. But that's something that we will figure out over time with our dog depending on the context that they're in. Break. One last thing I want you to pay attention to is the fact that I just said break and I released the dog from the command to the bowl. I much would rather have people release the dog from a stay command or what we call down or place to the word break and just a general release instead of using the word come and having the dog excitedly come running over to you. So just think about that. When you're teaching the dog to stay there, use break as a release word or good to give them food. But if you really are struggling with them staying in that position, you're going to want to really reward them for being in there and not be 30 or 40 feet away and then call them out of there and they come running over to you to get food. It may tempt them a little bit too much in the initial phases of learning this command. So that's just a little tidbit. You can see she's doing great here, and this is just a video covering reinforcing the dog's commands around distractions. You can see I clearly just used the word applied leash pressure, guided the dog into the proper position, and then I used that word good, and I reinforced what she was doing, or break, and I released her. Thanks so much for watching this video, and thanks so much to Clea here for being a great demonstration dog. And remember folks, we don't blame them, we train them.